You know what really, really gets to me is when I read a post on Facebook or somewhere where a woman's pouring her heart out, sharing a negative experience she had. Maybe she met a guy that seemed to be a good guy, and they started to get together and they had all this chemistry and it was super fun. And then he disappears. Or she slept with him too fast and he doesn't call her back. And she gets really emotionally upset and really wounded. And basically, that is a way to wound yourself. You need to have healthy boundaries in dating. So I thought I would make you a video with my 6 tips on how to have healthy boundaries in dating so that you can make conscious, healthy choices to protect yourself from emotional harm. I know it can be really hard sometimes to set boundaries, especially if you really struggle with self-esteem issues or if you've been single for a long time. And I find that women that have been single for a long time have been making too many exceptions, not holding really clear boundaries, maybe not even know where to draw the line. And so this video, I think, is really going to help those of you. And maybe it'll be, a reminder to those of you who had good boundaries, but sometimes we forget. So the first tip is, don't get too casual too soon. So what I mean by this is it's really easy to drop our guards and become overly friendly. When we meet somebody that we like, we can just, I can be walking down the street with my dogs and run into a couple women and we start talking about the dogs. And next thing you know, they're talking about, our lives and where we live. And it's so easy to just get really casual too soon. But in dating, it can be really harmful to you. So I want you to limit the amount of time that you're spending with a man on a first date. This is really important. 2-3 hours tops. I mean, really 2 hours is the sweet spot because you want to leave something to the next date. You want to have him wondering. You want to both leave the date with having got just enough information where you think that there is a connection, but you're looking forward to hearing more. This is how you move forward in dating. When you get too casual too soon, for example, I had a client who they went to brunch for their first date and they're having such a wonderful time. They end up having mimosas and they end up spending 4 or 5 hours there at brunch, and it was a beautiful setting. And so she just got too casual too soon. She never heard from him again. And she was like, what just happened? I mean, everything seemed to be going great. But I would guess that she gave too much information. She let her guard down. She became maybe a little sloppy, a little too relaxed with a complete stranger. So make sure you limit the amount of time on your dates, especially the first one, so that you can leave something to the imagination for next time. Then he's going to reach out and want to schedule that second date. All right. Okay, let's go on to the second tip. Don't go to his place too soon. So eventually you're going to end up at his place and he's going to end up at your place, but too soon can wreak havoc with this experience because you have to establish respect. You have to establish how you want to be treated. If you jump into physical intimacy too soon, you really don't get to know him emotionally. And we bond emotionally, men bond physically. So if you jump into the physical relationship and, just because you say, I'm going to go to his house, I'm not going to sleep with him, that is a really dangerous game to play because it's unlikely. If you're going to his house, you already like him, and that just puts you in proximity of making a bad decision. Do not sleep with men on the first, the second, or even the third date for that matter, if you're looking for a long-term committed exclusive relationship. So if you go to his house too soon, even if it seems really innocent, it could quickly escalate into some hot chemistry. And next thing you know, you're looking around for your clothes and making an exit and wondering if you're ever going to see him again. And it's I wouldn't want you to roll that dice. So you need to take time to get to know him. That's why I don't want you to put yourself in a position to make these choices that really will sabotage your efforts for creating a long-term intimate relationship. Okay, let's move on to the third tip. Now, I want you to have standards. These are the fundamental values and must-haves and things that you stand for in life. You really need to get really clear on what those are. And, we all know what the golden rules are. Don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal. So be trustworthy. You want somebody honest. You want these values, and you want to be seeing them. That's why the first two tips are so important, because over time, that person will reveal who they are and who they're going to be in a relationship. So you need to take that time to see what their standards are. And you need to make sure that you're setting the standards that you believe in, that you know in your heart are true, ethical, and fair for you and the way you live your life. So make sure you check in with your standards and don't go against your intuition. If you're feeling that he's maybe pressuring you, or you're staying out too late, or you're drinking too much, or you're even rambling on, that's a standard you want to start to look at, because it will impact, the rest of your courtship. Okay, let's move on to the fourth tip. Okay, I've already kind of mentioned that, but the fourth tip is take things slow. Let the things just unfold more organically without trying to control or push, or trying to manufacture intimacy too soon. So let things unfold. I mean, people really show you who they are over time. It's very hard to get to know somebody overnight. In fact, it can actually take a lifetime to really get to know somebody. So enjoy the unfolding and allow him to court you. Create these healthy boundaries so that you have something to look forward to. Every time you're together, something new comes up. You get to know him just a little bit better. You start to create an emotional connection. You start to become fond of each other based on all of these boundaries, mutual respect. So take things slow, enjoy it. It is so fun when you meet somebody that you really like, and to just allow that to unfold. I remember my first date with Michael. We went to a nice restaurant and we had a wonderful time, and we kissed, on the way out just a little bit. But the second date, I was really looking forward to seeing him, because we really hadn't, done the full makeout thing. And the second date was really fun. We had some more fun. I ended up kissing him out by my car. He'd walked me outside, and we had this little moment. It was really sweet. And that was like, I really want to go out with him again. And then the third date, we went for a walk around La Jolla, and we got coffee, and he tried to hold my hand. I tried to pull back because I was feeling shy. But I let him. And so, it was like I was really getting to know Michael. So I was taking it slow and enjoying the unfolding. So I just really invite you to take this tip to heart, because it's super important. Okay, now I have 2 more tips for you. But before we move on, if you're liking the content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and give me a thumbs up. And you know me, I love the comment section. If you read through the comments, you see I'm responding to everyone. And even if you want a little coaching, go ahead and put something in the comment section. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, let's move on to tip number 5. You're looking for 3 C's. I love these 3 C's. They're easy to remember. You're looking for caring, consistency, and commitment. Caring. He's sensitive to you. You express that you're concerned about your dog, and he's like, how's your dog doing? Or your wheels are out of alignment, and he's like, how's your car running? Or you have a stressful day at the office, how's work going? He's listening, and he's thinking about what you shared, and he's starting to demonstrate caring, concern. How's your mother? Whatever you shared with him, he's paying attention. So the next one is consistency. Of the 3 C's, the consistency to me is everything. I want him to call me when he says he's going to call. I want him to text me consistently. I want to consistently see him during the first couple of months, so that I can start to create a relationship, but I can also get to know who this man is. All that leads to more of a commitment. That caring, that consistency will definitely lead to a commitment. So you're watching for those 3 C's. That's the criteria that will lead to something bigger and more long term for you. All right, let's move on to the last and final tip, and boundaries in dating. All right, the final tip for the boundaries in dating is know your non-negotiables. This is so important. So what do I mean by that? Let me give you some of my own examples. So first of all, when I was dating Michael, my daughter was 14. My non-negotiable was dating men with children that were 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, because I already had conversations about soccer and going to all the amusement parks and doing all of that. So I wanted to date a man who had children my daughter's age or around that and older, so that our lives could unfold in a kind of a similar fashion. So that was a deal breaker for me and a non-negotiable. And another one was just having a man that was successful, that it had established, that had a track record. That's a non-negotiable for me, because I really believe that you can go so much further in your life and your children, if you have them, if you have a man who has a great work ethic. That's just me. I want him to have a great work ethic for you, because that will set the platform, the stage, a foundation for you to excel, for you to blossom as a woman. If you look at feminine and masculine energy, and the masculine energy is like the bank, and the feminine energy is like the river. You need a man who's got a good bank. And I'm not talking about a bank account, but that too. All right. So the bank, if you think about a river, you've got this strong bank. And even when the river bends, the bank is there. It's always holding the feminine energy. The consistency in a man's work ethic and his drive and his ambition and his goals in life, whatever they are, that creates the structure for you to blossom, for you to flourish, for your relationship to flourish. Because when you have a man who's consistent and has a great work ethic, he is going to create a stability, or he has stability in his life that is going to be essential for you to relax, for you to feel safe, for you to, like I said, blossom and just to be your most authentic, yummy, feminine woman that you possibly can be. You need that kind of structure. He provides a container for you to step into your most feminine self. And I just love that. So it's so important that you just know what your non-negotiables are. So what are some other non-negotiables? You don't want to drive. Maybe you're a vegetarian and you want a man that's a vegetarian. Maybe it's religion, that you want a Christian man. These are important in politics. These are certainly extremely important things to factor in. I find that people get along when we're older, when we have things in common. So it's easy with me and Michael. It's easy with us because we are very similar. He has all of these qualities and I have really healthy boundaries. And because of that, we've been able to build a really healthy, wonderful relationship. And I don't just love Michael, I'm in love with him. And I want you to be in love with your partner. I want you to be in love with life. And boundaries promote integrity and they make you feel safe. And when you feel safe, you can open up and just blossom and shine in ways that you never really thought possible without that kind of structure and stability. So know your non-negotiables. Don't make exceptions on those. Have an expectation that those are going to be met, or move on and find somebody that will meet them. Okay, ladies, I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.
Let me feel your love again, 'cause I've been running round in circles screaming out your name. Take me to a different place, just the two of us, and we can stay up all night.